Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we'll be watching 3 different animated shorts from Puffin Forest. This is usually D&D related, and oh god, they're still not as weird as the Pee in My Bucket short, which is a thing, and you are all lesser for hearing it. I'm a fan of his because of that. Oh god, that sounds even worse when I say it that way. I'm not going to say it that way. The first one is punishing players, followed by session -1. I feel like there should be a dramatic dun-dun right after that from Law and Order, but yeah, nah, that's probably copyrighted. And this is going to sound weird, but biochemistry job. I don't know what that's going to be about, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be probably scarring. Let's go with that. Yeah, definitely scarring. Oh god. I've seen how weird some of the things he does get. It's probably up there. Like the Star Dicks episode. That was beautiful, but weird, and scarring, but beautiful for it. I have a warped sense of humor, so this actually just hits my funny bone right on. With a mallet, and then another mallet, and then even bigger mallet, just to hammer home the point of, you don't need kneecaps, it's that funny. This is a good metaphor? No, but it seems to fit. Well, I mean, it actually does it, but I'm going to use it anyways. You guys know the drill. Link below, original videos. Make sure to hit them up, and let's get started. Oh, more of the forest sounds.
In one of my D&D games, we had this player who had really bad luck. He would open a door with a knock spell, and it would set off a fire trap, or he'd try to light a darkened room with a light spell, and it would just blind everyone. Or he'd cast spider climb, and he'd end up stuck to the wall.
That's my kind of luck.
Really bad luck. Like, really bad luck. As in, he would get into trouble almost 100% of the time. What I found out later was that this was the GM's doing. The guy running the game hated magic users. His position was, hey, I set up this set of elaborate traps, and then the wizard casts fine traps. Well, now he knows where they are. So I've set up
GM's
this
a dick.
plan. Anytime they try to use magic like that, I'll punish them. After doing this for a few months, people will get the hint and stop playing
No, they won't.
spellcasters.
They'll start doing incredibly bad things to set up traps
Why don't you just
intentionally.
talk to the players about it? Ben, he said, shaking his head.
This is a dick GM.
I know you're new to RPGs, but let me teach you something. GMs aren't supposed to be interfering like that. It's rude to mess with the player's autonomy. Funnily enough, his plan backfired, and it just causes magic users to try harder and blow multiple spells on one thing.
Sounds about right.
The players were being confused, though, because he had some odd exceptions to the rules.
What?
He was fine with healing spells, he just had a problem with spells that, quote-unquote, solved problems.
Like all of them.
So pretty much everything else. Besides, he didn't have any issues with his villains using magic.
Seriously?
Like, there was one humorous moment where the enemy gave himself an extra action and summoned a dozen flaming swords that hit me without a save for over 100 points of damage and instantly killed my character. Was I upset about this? No. I wasn't.
At all.
Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. The thing I'm getting at here is, don't use in-game mechanics to punish the players
It never
for
works!
in-game decisions. This advice goes for players as well. We had a thief character who kept stealing from the party. So, one day he gets caught and killed. Out of character, we were sick of his thief, but didn't say anything to him. Do you know what happens? The guy just rolls up an even more min-max thief saying, "This time I'm just not gonna get caught." And I'm kind of kicking ourselves, like, what did we think was going to happen? He was going to roll up like a paladin and be lawful good because now he has seen the error of his ways. No.
Everyone I ever played with did a lot of min-maxing only. But
some
for
of you
stupid
might
shit.
say, well, what if I ask them and they don't follow the rules? First off, hear them out.
Don't play with them,
they might have
then.
legitimate reasons for what they want to do. Otherwise, if you say something like, there aren't any angels in this world, and someone brings an angel to the table, I'm afraid
it's just
you
a hawk
might not
person.
be able to play with them if they're just going to bypass the rules like that. Whatever you do to solve that problem is up to you. That's not what this video is about. But for the love of God, don't do this weird shit where you don't talk to them and instead say, oh yeah, sure, you can play as an angel. But since you're playing as an angel, you have a celestial curse upon you, which means that you're going to be pursued by a pack of fully grown dire wolf sharks, and all of your rolls are a natural 1. Until you
How can you make that backfire on the GM? How could you make that backfire on the GM? You need to find out. There has to be a way. And now we're at session -1, which is, also the first Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, it's his first Dungeons and Dragons game. Oh god, I hope we get to see all the noob mistakes he make that I would never ever do myself, because even though I never played Dungeons & Dragons, the group I played with just went on the rule of, if you can convince the GM it is fine, it's fine. And he had a very bad sense of humor, so we had done a lot of bullshit. I'm just going to move on before I indict myself more. Yes, focus on Puffin Forest mistakes and not my obvious stupidity. Yeah, moving on. Ooh, more animations.
When I first started playing D&D, we began on 4th edition, which some of you might have heard of if you happened to be walking past a game store and saw people running out of the building saying its name with a few swear words years ago. That was how we found another D&D player.
I'm not gonna lie, I've actually seen that happen.
And was reading at work when one of his coworkers said,
not even joking.
"What the fuck are you doing reading that trash?" Note, the opinions of this character do not represent all the opinions of the Puffin Forest staff. This person is just talking
They have
out of their
staff?
ass. We respect all editions of Dungeons & Dragons. Please do not try to murder us in our sleep. We have family.
Except 4th edition,
That
apparently.
first session, we made characters, and made characters, and made characters.
It took that long?
None of us had played before, and we only had one copy of the player's handbook. It took a long time. Now, you might be asking, why didn't we just use pre-generated characters? Well, we had been watching videos online, and we had heard that you weren't supposed to do that. After all the fun of D&D is making your own, and pre-gens were for noobs who didn't know what they were doing. Unlike us.
Who were noobs?
So we got to sit down and crunch numbers. Fun!
Oh god, number crunching.
We
Yeah, I
spent
can see why people
4
run away.
hours just working on one person's character. I got so sick of flipping through the powers and figuring out what numbers went to what thing that I ended up just picking 2 powers for my cleric at random.
Oh no.
I was supposed to take Cure Light Wounds and Righteous Brand, but instead I took Hypnotism and a high-level Conjuration spell, which opened a portal to an extra-dimensional Eldritch Abomination summoned black tentacles to carry away my enemies into the shadowy Netherverse. Close enough. We sit down to game.
What kind of
7
paladin
players,
is that?
1 DM, Paladin, Cleric, Warlock, Wizard,
That's a
Ranger,
paladin
Fighter.
with a very skewed sense of right
We
and
were
wrong.
a big party. We took a job from a White Dragon for clearing out Malrath's dungeon. You know, the Necromancer. Remember the guy from the 4th edition Red Box starter set? Oh, of course you don't, because no one else other than us actually played that. We walked into a room and were instantly turned into chess pieces and had to play across the room in a really bizarre hybrid of chess and D&D rules. It was like combat, only you could move any pieces, and when you tried to take a piece, it was melee attack against AC. Funnily enough, every round we just moved the Paladin because he was the queen. And each other turn, he was eating multiple attacks from all the enemy
Oh,
pieces that were
God.
trying to gangbang him. No one else moved. Or
Bad
attacked.
phrasing.
I spent
Accurate,
the entire
bad
combat
phrasing.
in real life in my kitchen making salsa and guacamole. They turned out great. Then we got attacked by these rogues.
Sorry, just for
and
guacamole,
while
that
I was
sounds
waiting
awesome.
for my turn, I was cooking pizzas in the kitchen. They turned out great too. So we fought our way through the whole
Note to
dungeon
self,
and took
bring this
care
guy
of
to
the
every
dreaded
game and have him cook.
Necromancer. And I made some chocolate chip cookies when it wasn't my turn. They didn't turn out okay. Some of the ones on the outside got a little burned.
I volunteer to remove them.
So we returned the
Bring
severed
him
head
to
of the
every game and make
Necromancer
him not
the
have
White
stuff to
Dragon
do.
who paid us for our services, and we were on our way. You know that Necromancer is going to be coming back with a vengeance, right? I said. I ripped his head off of his shoulders, our fighter Zod said.
Necromancer.
He's pretty dead. Look, this is my first fucking session of D&D, and even I, a complete idiot who ain't never played D&D, knows how this shit's going down. He's a
Yeah.
Necromancer. Death's not really a big deal to them. More like
Yeah.
an inconvenience.
Ooh, we can maybe another episode follow-up. And now we get my biochemistry job, which I'm wondering if this is his life story animated or actual biochemistry as a job in D&D, which either way is probably going to lead to some kind of explosion happening. Because if you're a biochemist and you don't have something exploding, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I realize biochemists wouldn't normally do that, which is why it's much more challenging, and you need to find out how to make biological grenades. Yeah. This is why I'm not a biochemist. Let's get started before I say something else even more incriminating. Oh wait, too late. I love
A
the
little bit
fucking
unusual for this
blinking.
channel, but I'm going to be talking about my old job. I used to work as a biochemist for 2 years.
Well, that's his old job.
I mean, I'm still a biochemist, I'm just between jobs right now.
Oh.
Really? When you hear the word biochemist,
Yeah.
you probably have misconceptions
Bad
about
scientist?
the job. I mean, what can I say? Hollywood has really glamorized my work. When you hear it, you probably think of some handsome rapscallion braving out against the high seas of G25 titration and slaying the dreaded monsters of aggregated proteins that are lurking out in the depths.
with nothing but his
Yes, that is
well-worn
exactly what I'm
Typeta.
thinking.
You used magnetic stir bars and his trusty monkey sidekick, Popo. I mean, if someone believed all that, I'm not saying it's not true. It's mostly true. I mean, like
Minus everything else.
99.9% true. There are just one or two things I need to clarify. I don't have a PhD or master's, just a bachelor's. I used to work for Becton Dickinson Biosciences on the manufacturing floor as a conjugation biochemist. I focused on reactions. Our products were dyes, magnetic imaging particles, ELISA, and cytometric bead arrays, which are used by researchers to study blood cell samples and proteins. Well, those materials have to be made by hand through a series of chemical reactions, so that's where I come in.
God, it physically
We
hurts
didn't make
to see.
just one product. We were sort of like cooks, where we'd receive orders for different things and make up the materials to specifications. I'd review the history of the material, check notes, take some readings, add some chemicals, take some more readings, add some more chemicals, take even more readings.
This is
add
also why I'm
even
not a
more
biochemist.
chemicals to
This
eventually
scares
finalize
me.
the notes and send off the shipment. I think when I went from working in school to working at a company was a huge shock from the different ways they run the lab. In school, they intentionally waste your time, because who gives a shit? And in industrial lab, it's go, 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 go. Very tight schedules, very stressful. You want to know how they handled sick time? Me too. The position I held, conjugation manufacturing, was the bottleneck for the entire biochemistry division, which means that if they could get us to work 10% faster, the entire company would make 10% more profits. So they were yelling at us daily to work as fast as possible.
Sounds right.
Until something went wrong, and then it turned to, why didn't you slow down earlier, Ben? Like I told you.
Oh god, this is way
I know
more than
you
just
think you can
biochemistry. This
just
is
slip
everything.
through your projects without a care in the world, but it's kind of irresponsible, don't you think? Before I worked as a biochemist, I had gotten nervous sweats twice in my life. Working there the first 10 months or so, I used to get a nervous sweat every single day.
Oh.
Because it takes about 15 hours, 8 on hands, in order to complete one project. They were done over several days, and there are a myriad of ways to fuck it up and have to restart from the beginning.
I'd like to point out how much don't fuck up this is a thing.
Both of my bosses that I had to work with were miserable people. But that's a story for another day. In addition, the materials I was using were quite expensive, sometimes over $10,000 on one project. You might be asking, did you ever fuck up a really expensive project? And I would say, why do you ask questions you know the answer to? All the time. It's like getting a company car totaled every other month. But it wasn't just my fault. God damn it, Popo, you had one
The
job!
monkey. Or, is it a monkey? Or, I don't know what that was. Okay, so I gotta say, I didn't know Puffin Forrest was a biochemist, and two, that last one was entirely too real and relatable. To anyone here who's ever worked anywhere, we all know how much that applies to everything. Minus the fact that when you screw up a sample, it's $10,000 on your head. Sorry, I just choked a bit saying $10,000. $10,000. A lot of money. Yeah. You think if they had something that expensive that could really screw things up, they wouldn't force people to do something that might make them screw up. But of course, business. Yeah. And that's why I'm not a biochemist. Other than the fact that I felt a visceral fear as soon as I saw him put up the formulations on the screen. That was a thing. I probably have nervous sweat on my back now because of that. That's why I'm going to make sure to sit down and not move until the camera's off. Because I'll probably have to peel myself off the chair. Oh, God. If it sounds bad, I have to deal with it in person. All the same, though, everyone. You guys know the deal. There is a link below to the original video. Make sure to hit it up. And Puffin Forrest, I'm glad you got out of that job. I mean, the entire not having a job thing kind of sucks. But hopefully YouTube's working. I say knowing full well that YouTube's probably hiding your videos because algorithms suck. Ha ha ha. If you can, seriously, go support his videos. There's a link below. Have I mentioned that before? Good. I'll do it again, probably. Videos below. Hit them up. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be awesome because Puffin Forrest is hilarious. Adios.